Guys,
Rich,
the thing we love about the National Football League is it's the greatest reality show there is. Can't make it up. Things happen that you're like, wouldn't even make it in a script in this crazy town of Los Angeles and Hollywood. Can't make it up. When I was at the Combine and I heard, whispers there in Indianapolis that the Colts needed to find somebody for Anthony Richardson to take a seat potentially, and word was coming around, you're hearing the name of Daniel Jones, and you're like, okay. And then they signed Daniel Jones for a quarterback competition. And all I kept hearing is like, yeah, that's not going to be a competition. Sure enough, yada, 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 who got the start? I'm not saying I was right. I was just hearing this information. Plus, any time in which I could potentially be right now, certainly. When one of my first takes that has gone all sorts of places throughout the ESPN realm, because we're now associated with them, is everything's going to be fine with the Cincinnati Bengals. Jake Brown is pretty damn good, and then we just saw what just happened. Not looking good one weekend there. So anytime I could sit here and talk about stuff like that, I will. That said, though, it's about Daniel Jones doing what he's doing for the Indianapolis Colts. And what he's doing for the Indianapolis Colts is quite simply something we've never seen from the Colts at the quarterback position before. And I know what I'm saying right now. Because just to name a couple of quarterbacks that have worn the blue horseshoe on the side of the helmet there. Peyton Manning is one. All you got to do is just, stroll up the front steps at Lucas Oil and you see the statue. Johnny Unitas is another. Just to name two. Andrew Luck could be another one. Captain Comeback, my guy Jim Harbaugh, is another. Just to name a few of note. There's a list of Indianapolis Colts and Baltimore Colts quarterbacks that have started a season 3-0 with 0 giveaways. That list is one name on it. It's Daniel Jones.
Wow.
Now there's a list of all sorts of quarterbacks of note in the Super Bowl era. Look, I'm now widening the scope of quarterbacks to play in this great game since the Super Bowl era began, which is always 1970, the merger and all that sort of business. So, unfortunately, you got to take Bart Starr in the 60s out of the mix. But there's still, I think, a large subset of quarterbacks from which to choose. There's a list of quarterbacks in the Super Bowl era with 3 or more passing touchdowns and 3 or more rushing touchdowns and no giveaways in the first 3 games of the season. And that list has one name on it. It's Daniel Jones.
Oh, come on.
That's how he's starting it off in Indianapolis. 20 straight drives without a punt. What's the name of the punter there's name anyway? He holds for him. What's his name again? Yeah. You're getting my drift here. Unbelievable. Jonathan Taylor's quite something as well. It's all working. 3rd career game with 100 or more rush yards and 3 or more rushing touchdowns. He broke a tie with Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk for the 2nd most such games in Colts history. Only Edgerrin James is in front of him. Michael Pittman and Daniel Jones are connecting. Daniel Jones has a passer rating when targeting Pittman this year of 144.1. That is the best quarterback wide receiver combination in the National Football League, and there's some other pretty darn good ones too. They boat raced the Titans. Anybody that's thinking, well, it was just the first 2 games, they were both at home. It was the Dolphins in week 1, Anybody's thinking, oh, they'll just turn into a pumpkin and on the road in Tennessee, and Cam Ward's going to show you something, and it's on the road in the division. That didn't happen. 103 points through the first 3 games of 2025. That's tied for the 2nd most in Indianapolis history. And you're thinking, oh, that's got to include Peyton Manning, right? Nope. The other team to score 103 points in the first 3 games in 1958, that was Weeb Eubank with Unitas.
Weeb.
Good old Weeb. And then in 1967, they had 117 points in the first three games. The coach there was Don Shula then at the time. Okay? And so Daniel Jones was told this. And, of course, you know what he did. He spiked the football. He was telling you how great he was. He's pounding his chest, and he's emoting. Wait a minute.
He's emoting.
No. I'm told it's the exact opposite.
Yeah, I don't know. I think obviously we're running it well. JT, had another big-time day. I think huge credit to him and how he's been playing. And then the guys up front, and they're blocking. And the run game's been big. And then guys are getting open, making plays in the pass game with, some explosive plays and stuff down the field. So I think a lot of credit to the guys up front. I think it starts there in the run game and the pass game. And then, playing off of that.
Kenny Moore II with his 4th career pick 6, just to back up Daniel Jones's point. Defense was doing it. Jonathan Taylor's doing it. Pittman's doing it. Pierce is doing it. Tyler Warren's doing it. Daniel Jones is playing like Danny Diamonds. That's what's happening. And, hey, everybody thought it's the Texans' division to lose. Guess what they're doing right now? Losing it. They're now 0-3. Colts are 3-0. The Jaguars are 2-1. And the Titans are 0-3. Colts, look at what Danny Diamonds is doing right there. They're next up right here in the Los Angeles area. Now then, take a look at what Daniel Jones is doing this year compared to his first many seasons in the National Football League.
Kind of looks like Josh Allen in that photo.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's just, he's playing like him. He's playing like him. Guys, you see on the screen right there a diamond out of the rough, right? About what he's doing. It was rough. Drafted by the Giants, 6th overall pick. It didn't help him. Didn't help him when he was turning it over that he was actually pick 6 for the Giants, 2019. And he had some moments. As we all know, he won and done the Minnesota Vikings in a playoff campaign in Brian Daboll's first year with the Giants. Brian Daboll was coach of the year that year. He played like Colin Kaepernick on tilt in that game, running it, throwing it. And then the Eagles took care of him in the playoffs. But then that's when he went into that offseason where Saquon was looking for his as well. We all understand, yada, yada, yada. The Giants decide to pay Daniel Jones, franchise Saquon Barkley. They lose Saquon Barkley last year. Let him walk down the turnpike, make a right at the Delaware Water Gap because he's coming from the north, and then go to Philadelphia where he has a 2,000-yard season, Offensive Player of the Year, and a Super Bowl championship, a parade in Philadelphia, an absolute nightmare for the Giants, whose decision-making on the front, at least it wasn't broadcast on television through the first ever off-season Hard Knocks. Wait a minute, I'm being told that's exactly what happened. I'm having a lot of people talk in my ear today. And sure enough, once the Giants feel that this page is turned, you don't have to hear about Saquon that much anymore, other than the fact of, we lived through it. We know it was not good for us because it was great for our rivals. And now here comes Daniel Jones in Indianapolis, and it's happening all over again. Certainly when you're struggling with Russ. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.